Welcome back to Rutgers University Broadcast. This is Sriya Bapatla. Today is Wednesday, October 7th, 2020. We're going to start off the evening show with our Inspiring Individuals segment. Today, we will be talking about Dr. Ronald E. McNair and how having grit and a strong system of habit helped him get to where he was. We're going to head over to our returning guest, a random guy off of the street. Hey, what can you tell us about Dr. Ronald E. McNair?
Buckle up, kids, because today we're going to be learning about a man so gritty, one with such habit, that we're going to be talking about him in this project about grit and habit. Born in the 1950s, South Carolina, McNair didn't grow up having it easy. At 9 years old, he refused to leave his city's segregated public library without checking out books, a decision that actually reformed the institution. And boy, oh boy, did those books serve him well. He graduated from Carver High School as valedictorian, snatched a degree in engineering physics from North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University, then went and got a PhD in physics from MIT. And he could beat you up with his black belt. My dude was so rad he became an astronaut at 34, and after completing his first mission as the second black astronaut in space, decided he wanted to record 6 saxophone beats in 0G. However, tragedy struck in his Challenger mission, as the rocket sadly malfunctioned 9 miles above the Atlantic coast. Even so, Ronald McNair will forever be remembered as a human with enormous perseverance, overcoming not only a time of prejudice, but space itself.
Thank you, random guy off the street. Dr. Ronald E. McNair's legacy can be seen in many ways, like the McNair Scholars Program. His success can actually be measured by our own eyes, right here in New Jersey. Up next, we have Maxim Arkhipov, a student from McNair High School, located in Jersey City. Max, what have you learned about Dr. McNair, and why was your school named after him?
Well, the impact Dr. Ronald E. McNair left is one that broke cultural barriers. After the Challenger explosion, the world honored his achievements and the strides he took to progress the African American role in STEM and astronomy. He pushed for racial equality in academia, which inspired the creation of my former high school, Dr. Ronald E. McNair Academic, which is located in Jersey City, which is the most diverse city in the nation, actually. At its inception in 1976, it was one of the first schools to offer an elite public education to all students regardless of race or gender, something it still upholds by being the top public school in New Jersey, while maintaining a culturally diverse and informed student body.
Thank you, Max. Now, this week we're going to expand our segment. Instead of just learning about the individual's success, we're going to learn about their lifestyle. Mainly, we are going to focus on the grit that they had to succeed and the habits they practiced to get there. Let's take a moment and understand these words. Grit means to have passion and perseverance for long-term goals. We have Dhruv Ghoniya here with us today, a roommate of Dr. McNair's at MIT, and of course, a lifelong friend of his. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Ghoniya. What can you tell us about Dr. McNair and how he exemplified grit in his life?
Thank you for having me. Dr. Ronald E. McNair was a man of many talents. He was an accomplished expert in the field of lasers, an outstanding astronaut, an excellent musician, and even a skilled martial artist. For someone to have all these skills, it takes more than just talent. It takes grit and determination. He grew up in a time of civil unrest, and he didn't let that stop him from becoming the accomplished man that he was. Dr. McNair even faced a major setback when 2 years of his specialized laser physics research for his doctorate was stolen, and yet he managed to produce a second set of data in a year to earn his PhD in physics. In the same year that he earned his PhD, he won the AAU Karate Gold Medal and 5 regional championships, as well as achieved the rank of a 5th degree black belt. He exemplified true passion in his life and had the perseverance to achieve both his gold medal and his PhD at the same time. He himself once said true courage comes in enduring, persevering, and believing in oneself. He not only spoke of grit, but he lived by it as well.
Thank you, Mr. Ghoniya. Now, we move on to the power of habit. Wherever we see successful people, we see successful habits. Think waking up early, exercising regularly, and most importantly, making it a priority to work towards goals. We have a great friend of Dr. McNair's, Mukund Ramakrishnan, one of McNair's co-workers with NASA, here with us. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Ramakrishnan. What can you tell us about Dr. McNair and how his habits let him become successful in his goals?
Now, you might think that Dr. McNair was a jack of all trades, and he sure was. Even so, his extraordinary power of habit and his continuous self-inspired passion and perseverance in his studies allowed him to earn this doctoral degree in laser physics, eventually becoming an esteemed expert on the subject. Talking about a setback where his research was stolen, he never once complained about that misfortune. Where he said that his second set of data was actually much better than his first. His doctoral advisor, Michael Feld, said that this was his habit, and that was typical of his way to accomplish his goals. With his habit of everlasting persistence, he came to the Hughes Research Laboratory, where I saw his expertise working with chemical and high-pressure lasers firsthand. He was ever patient in accomplishing his goals and was so determined that he even seemed a bit stubborn at times, clinging to ideas that were past what would, say, be the most efficient way to figure something out. He told me that whether or not I reach my goals in life would depend entirely on how well I prepare for them and how badly I wanted them. And that's a piece of advice that I carry with me to this day. For sure, he wanted every one of those goals so badly, and everyone loves him for that.
Thank you, Mr. Ramakrishnan. That's it, folks. You heard it here. Grit and good habits are the secret to success. All of us here at Rutgers University Broadcasts hope you enjoyed today's segment of Inspiring Individuals, Dr. Ronald E. McNair. Have a great day.